when you come to the sideline, we scored like the first 3 or 4 possessions, and you come to the sideline and the offensive line says they like every play that's being called, everything feels great, the receivers feel great, having that chemistry and everyone talking to each other and everyone being on the same page, that kind of got us going and helped us out.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to UB Stadium. Following the Bulls' first win of the year, a 33-10 victory over the Colgate Raiders. My name is Paul Peck with Bulls radio color analyst Scott Wilson. FCS team comes into town, Scott. There is one job for a school like UB to do, and that is just to go out there and beat them, and the Bulls did that.
It was a quick and dominating performance. Buffalo jumping out to the early lead, never looking back, scoring on every single possession of the first half, and putting the game away. They were able to use all facets of that offense. Tyree Jackson, his legs, his arms, the tight end got involved, wide receivers had big plays down the field. Everything that you wanted to see from Buffalo in this evolving team, this evolving offense, and a big first win of the season, we got to see here today.
All right, let's look back at some of those early scores. Bulls scoring touchdowns on their first 4 drives of the game. First touchdown coming on Tyree Jackson's 14-yard touchdown run, and that quarterback draw, and anytime he runs it, he is very dangerous.
Yeah, he used that awfully effective here today. An awful lot of yards, almost 100 yards off of that quarterback draw alone here today. It was the big play that they scored on at Army, used it again here to score a big touchdown. It was a 3rd down play. Tyree Jackson was in control right from the get-go.
Career high 97 yards rushing in this game for Tyree Jackson, but of course he also did it with his arm, and one of the biggest plays of the game was a beautifully designed and executed 58-yard pass to tight end Tyler Mabry.
Yeah, it set up the touchdown. Mabry was wide open right down the seam. And, so often we see Tyree put a frozen rope to somebody on the other side of the field in their amazing throws, but he also has those touch passes over the top. Mabry was able to bring it in and get the Bulls going in the right direction.
And right after that big play to Mabry, it was the touchdown connection from T3 to AJ. 1st and 10 for the Bulls. Tyree hangs it up, fade, end zone, caught, touchdown! Anthony Johnson with the Buffalo touchdown!
Picture perfect from Tyree Jackson. Great throw, great catch, knowing where he is on the field, and the Bulls are on the move here early on.
And Scott already up 14-0. That's when the Bulls got the running game going, and it was a big day, a career-high 120 yards rushing for Bulls sophomore running back Emmanuel Reed. And after the game, he was pretty excited and pretty proud to burst on the scene here at UB.
Oh yeah, it's always good having this type of game. I've been waiting like 3 years for this, of just hard work and me and Hawk. So it's really good when everything is working so good, from the pass game to the run game. You get runs like that, and we just gotta keep pounding football no matter what, and we just did a good job at that today.
If you look at our first 2 games, we generated big plays in the through the air, but we never ever really got the running game consistently going, and to see us be able to kind of methodically move down the field was really a pleasure to see.
Meanwhile, while the offense is scoring on their first 5 drives of the game, the defense is doing a very good job. They gave up a little bit of yardage, but they had consistent pressure on the quarterback and really forced Colgate into having almost no passing game.
Yeah, Brenneman, the quarterback for Colgate, was under pressure all day long. He was running for his life, and even though some of those first-teamers didn't get all the sack stats that they would have wanted to there in the first half like they probably deserved, the pressure was unrelenting and forced so many errant throws that even though they didn't get the sacks, it was still a negative play for Colgate.
One of the key guys on the pressure for the Bulls defense, defensive end Damone Harris.
I think we did a great job. We let some things get away early with the quarterback scrambling. We just got to stay true to our rush lanes and things like that. But, for the most part, I felt like in the first half we had an issue with just missed tackles and missed opportunities in that aspect. And I felt like we came out and fixed that in the second half.
So the Bulls get their first win of the year, now 1-2 on the season, and another home game comes up this Saturday, a 7 o'clock kickoff here at UB Stadium against a Florida Atlantic team that has one of the headliners in college football as their head coach, as we get our chance to see in person for the first time Lane Kiffin.
Like him or not, he draws an awful lot of attention. He's a lightning rod everywhere he's been, and he has been in this offseason. They've made a lot of offseason moves. Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator, coming in from Baylor, a lot of big-name transfers coming in from Power 5 FBS programs. But when we get on the field, it's still going to be these Bulls who are going to be riding high off of a win. looking to get to 500, and I think that Buffalo might have a little bit of an advantage. They've already beaten this team a couple of years ago. I think that they feel pretty good coming into this game, the way that they've performed this season, and Florida Atlantic hasn't really hit their stride yet, and both of those teams are going to be fighting to get to 500 before we exit or get into conference season.
Yeah, this is the rematch of the game that the Bulls won 2 years ago against Florida Atlantic down in Boca Raton, so it should be a fun one here at UB Stadium on Saturday night. Again, a 7 o'clock kickoff. For Scott Wilson, my name is Paul Peck. We thank you for joining us on this Bulls Digital Update.